Hello and welcome to Assorted Meeples. I'm Phillip. You've seen me quite a bit here recently as I discuss different things on the channel around board games that I love and enjoy and things going on in my world with board games. Today I want to actually stop, and as you can see from the title of the video, this is about what games bring me to the table that make me want to play them. And I really started looking at this and it jumped in my head, like, there are certain things that when you present that game to me, it's either going to be an immediate turnoff or immediately I'm in. I don't even care about the rest. But you just said the magic words to either, make me part with my money or make me sit at that table and learn a brand new game for the umpteenth number of times. And what for me it boils down to, the first thing is the artwork. A game that doesn't have the artwork that I'm going for, or like, there are lots of games out there that I see the artwork and it's like, that is stellar artwork. No, that does not draw me into it at all. This one, actually I have this one right here on hand because this is kind of an epitome of one of the games that I will go for every time. This is Air, Land, and Sea, Critters at War. Does this game do anything different than the original Air, Land, and Sea? No. Is it a better game in my opinion? Actually, probably yeah, because I never even looked at Air, Land, and Sea until I saw Critters at War at Gen Con. And within a 2-minute pitch, I took a stab at playing a hand and playing cards, and I was sold. I went and I bought a copy right then and there. No questions asked. This is a game that I will play, that I will enjoy playing multiple times. And a large part of that has to do with the amazing detail they did with the card work for all 18 cards. I mean, that's it. There's only like 18 cards in this game, but they did such an amazing job nailing it that I love looking at it as much as I love playing the game. Those are the first things that are just going to draw me in. Another one is the, I got it right here, Century Gollum Edition. It's the Gollum Edition that got me, not Spice Road. The Gollum Edition. Not because Spice Road is bad or anything like that, but because the visuals. I'm a huge Miyazaki fan. When you look at all those Gollums, that's all I see is those Gollums that are the machines and robots that he created through multiple of his movies that just, it just feels so good to me. That's the first thing I look at, is the art in it. If the art is appealing, and that's a very wide range because I am an artist. I do wheel-thrown functional pottery is what I went to college for. I also do visual arts. I do most of the editing you see on Assorted Meeples, for at least for Table for Two and all the videos that have me in them. I do all the editing. So it's a skill set I have, and I can see the difference between good art and bad art. And yeah, it either draws you right in or it kicks you right out. So that's the first thing I look at. The second thing I look at is the gameplay, like the core mechanics of a game. I don't want a 50-page rule book that I have to reference all the time because I can't remember the rules. I look for games that have extremely simple rule sets, but when you put those rules into play, you get a huge, complicated problem that you're trying to piece together round by round as everybody puts in their way of playing it and trying to win. That's the fun part for me. Like, those are the parts that I love. You're not gonna see me, like, The worst one for me was Spirit Island. Spirit Island, the rules felt complicated and hard for the point of making a very complicated and hard game. Not that that game needed to have a complicated rule set, but in order to make it work, they had to have these super complicated rules. And for every step forward, I took like 2-3 steps backwards in it, and it was, the whole time I played it, it was frustrating. Now, I get that Spirit Island has a huge following, and people love playing it solo, and it's a great puzzle. But when your first exposure to it was that negative, it's hard to look past that and go on to it. So I already showed Century Golem Edition. It has 1 page, front and back. That's it for rules. But it's in the drafting of cards and the hand management as you play the cards, different cards at different times, trying to race the other players to the golem that you both want or can get to quickly. It's knowing if you need to stop trying for that one and shift gears, because they're going to get that one. No matter what you do, they're a step or 2 ahead of you. I got this one right here, Sagrada. This is another perfect example. This, you're just placing dice, and the only limitations you have are your window frame that lets you either put a or a number in a place or a color in a place. Other than that, you are free to place your dice however you want. Like, the rules for Sagrada are super simple and super basic. But in the gameplay, as it progresses, that puzzle becomes harder and harder, and you're trying to keep your options open so that you come out ahead of everybody else. The one that I might get some questionable retails for that I brought down is actually this one, Raiders of the North Sea. In the basics of Raiders of the North Sea, you are placing a worker and picking a worker up. You get resources, or you get points or whatever depending on where you go on the board. But the main emphasis of the game is you are going to place one worker and you're going to pick one worker up. That's it. There's a lot of deep strategy in there of how that works out to the best for you. And that's what I like. It's a very simple, it is complex. There are lots of little details in there that I'm glossing over for the sake of this argument. But it's not the same level as I would say Stone Age is, where you really need to plan everything out. You can fumble a few things in Raiders of the North Sea and still be okay. Stone Age, if you make a few wrong choices, you're there for second or third, hopefully. I play with some mean people though, so I don't know about you guys, but my group is extremely competitive in the moment. And that's why I like the simple rules, because we can all get it, we all grasp it, and we all just go hard into it. King of Tokyo is another good one like this too, where yes, it's a dice chucker. Yes, something's free in there, and I didn't want to hear that noise because my game is everywhere now. But under that dice chucking surface, if you're playing King of Tokyo right, you're going to have to make some hard choices in there, and you're going to have to force your opponent to alter their choices of their dice, not based on what you're telling them, but based on how you're playing. Yes, some of it comes down to how those dice roll and whether you get, the next turn. But the biggest part is like using those dice and working the statistics and probability of what's going to come up. Because over the long haul of a game or of a dice lifetime, it's going to roll equal numbers all the way across. But in a very short window, that's going to be vastly different what rolls and what doesn't. It's why numbers in Catan go hot and then go cold all of a sudden. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, that is the biggest thing. So it's the visuals and the simple rules with complex integration that I look for in games. I don't really have a third thing. If anything, the third thing I look for is if it can play at 2 players. Because, actually that would be my third one. Is it a 2-player game? Because if it's got the visuals, it's got the simple yet complex rule set and interactions, does it play well at 2 players? Because me and my wife is my main gaming group. And then it's the rest of the Assorted Meeples crew. I don't have a big, like, I'm not looking to field a game for 8 or 10 people every time. I'm looking for 2, and I'm looking for up to 4, maybe 5, maybe 6 players. That's it. But mainly either 2-player count or 4-player count. I'm looking to see if it plays well at those. If you like this video, guys, go ahead and hit that like button down below. Also, look us up on all of our other media, and please do leave comments down below of what you look for in games, because I'd love to hear from you guys. There's so many games out there. I'm sure your tastes are a lot different than mine. Anyways, thanks for watching, and Shane's going to take us out of here. Alright, bye.
If you like what you just saw, please support us by hitting that like button and subscribing to our channel for more great gaming content.